What's up, guys? It's your boy Brendan, aka Drip, back with another video. And man, oh man, do I have a good one in store for you guys. Holy guacamole. Man, I wanted to get this deck profile out to you guys as soon as possible because a lot of people don't know, and I've been making sure no one has done this yet. We got a new indirectly support card. It's not our card, but we're going to use it. It helps us deck so much, and it helps us to, if I know Nib's not really in the format currently at this time of recording this video, people still use it, but it's not like the main focal point hand trap at the moment. But it helps us play around Nib, it helps us get into our stuff that we want to get into, and it helps us extend, which this deck can never have too many of. But with that being said, guys, if you all are new to the channel, please consider and hit the subscribe button. It's really making me sad that 94% of you guys are returning viewers and are not subscribed to the channel. So please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload, and definitely hit that like button too while you're at it. Along doing so, check out the description if you want to become closer to the DDD fam. Join the Discord and PayPal, and everything's in the description below. But with that being said, let's get into this video. One thing I will say right off the bat is there's a lot of things that I had to make changes with this deck that are different compared to what everyone else runs. I'm not everyone else. I want to run what I think is most efficient, on top of being most efficient, what I think is the most competitive. If you guys know me, you know that I love this deck. This deck is my baby. I want to try to make it as competitive as possible, and there's some cards that float in and float out of formats. So not everything's going to stay the same. And I've been playtesting this build for several weeks now, and this deck overperforms. Starting it off, bread and butter. Got to have 3 Photon Dragons, just like Blue Eyes. You got to have 3 Blue Eyes, just like Cyber Dragon. You got to have 3 Cyber Dragons. This is our boss monster. We need him at 3. Starting off with the best starter in the deck. 3 Galaxy Soldier. It's our card, not Cyber Dragons. I don't care what anybody says. Or ABCs. It basically your search. There's not much I need to say with that. He's your best starter, your best searcher, your best extender, your best board presence. He's just overall goated. And speaking of goat, 2 Afterglow. You don't need 3. You run 3, you're going to brick. You run 1, it's not enough. 2 is the magic number. There's not much need to be said. This card is what we needed when we got him when we did. He is the best extender in the entire deck. He is our OTK card. He helps facilitate a lot with this deck. And then we have 2 Knight. 1 is not enough. I know once you get 1 in rotation, there's a lot of situations where even if you get 1 engraved, because sometimes there will be certain situations where I will side the second one out. But there's a lot of situations where when I tried to cut this card to 1 and I got the first one in rotation, there was something else that I would have rather have gotten back from the grave with Soul Flare instead of Knight that I could have searched the second one with, but I couldn't. So the second one does come up. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend running less than 2. 2's perfect. One thing I did kind of change compared to my previous lists, but yeah, I would not run more than 2. 2 is perfect. 3 is way too bricky. This is going to be your main normal summon of the deck. This deck doesn't even really need a normal summon. Definitely not now. You mainly want a normal summon like after, if you have an extender plus him, if you don't get to your number 90 before Nib, just in case they have Nib. So you want to hold this if they have Nib or something, and you have 1 extender to get on board, then you can normal summon him, because you can't normal summon him unless you control a Galaxy or Photon. But your main normal summon. And one thing I did change that a lot of my lists didn't run before is I'm running 2 Brave. Brave, like the second Brave, when you're running, if you're running more names, the second one comes up. 3, you definitely don't need it. You're just asking a brick. But the name, if you're running high Photon and names and all that, then it comes up. The second one kind of does. Depending on your list and depends on what's in the format will depict on whether or not this bounces back and forth between 1 and 2. And right now I like it at 2. And then the 1-ofs, 1 Wizard. Like I said, I know a lot of things in this list is going to piss people off, but I'm just saying this is what works for me, and this is what's really good. A lot of people there's a lot of people they go back and forth. They either cut this card completely, or they just run too many of the daggone thing. In a 40 card list, you only need one because you can search it, and you're only going to resolve it once, and you need it for a different name when it's engraved anyways off of the best card in the entire deck, Cleric. These two are your power one-ofs basically for Galaxy names. So Cleric is your pot of avarice on legs. It's how you outgrind 90% of your decks. And play through Nib and do the Zeus combo. If you are new to the channel and you don't understand what I mean by the Zeus combo, feel free to go on the channel and look it up. I made a combo tutorial video on it, just explaining everything, so you can go and check that out. Moving on to the Photon part of the deck. Start off, best card in the deck. I say that a lot, and I'll keep saying it about every card because this whole deck is just amazing and fun. 3 Orbital. Orbital is your Rota of the deck. It's all we have at the moment for Rota until we get something new or better. But it's basically all we got. It's our card, not ABC's. Moving on. We got two Vanisher. I know a lot of people like this at 3. I get it. You want to see it in hand. I really do. It facilitates getting Photon Dragon in your hand. I get that. But you don't want to clog on it, and it can clog very easily. Since I dropped this to 2 with this current list, I like it where it's at a lot more. Moving on to the one-ofs, we only have 2. We got one Thrasher and 1 Advancer. I don't understand why a lot of lists will run multiple. If you're running 40 or close to 40, why you would run a second Thrasher? Because after turn 1, Thrasher's dead, dude. Like, what are you doing with your second Thrasher? You're not doing nothing. Yes, it can be pitch material for Soldier, but that's annoying. When you want to pitch with Soldier, you want to make it to where you're going to pitch something that you're going to use off of combo later or add back. There's no reason to pitch a Thrasher. You're not really plussing any hard off that. As where my personal opinion, if you're pitching Galaxy Photon Dragon off of Soldier, then you are plussing harder than you are if you're dissing a Thrasher. A second Thrasher is not needed. Definitely when you're running Rota. And then Advancer, I was thinking about cutting this card because this actually was a third Vanisher for a while. Advancer was. But with this, what we're going to get into here soon, the Advancer actually came up just as being a different name and a more free extender than Vanisher. Vanisher you plus with, Advancer is just a good extender. Because this new card that just came out that is just freaking bonkers when this deck, you kind of need this from time to time. So this actually plays more of a role in my deck now than any deck list I've made prior. Moving on to the rest of the monsters. We got 2 Veiler. I know I was running 3 in my previous list, but we're actually running Imperm now. And I know that I preach every time you see my videos that this deck's consistency comes from light targets. I get that. But with this new extender, your consistency is like ceiling has like shot through the roof completely. So the third one doesn't really come up, and I'd rather have the Floodgate negate with Imperm than the more consistency off of this. Just in this format. Because if you go look, everybody and their brother is literally running IO, and it's toxic and annoying and needs banned. So that's the only reason I'd run Imperm. If it wasn't for the fact that everyone's running Skill Drain and Imperm and IO, I would most definitely be running 3 Veiler instead of Imperm itself. And then I am still running the 1 Iris because Imperm Veiler is everywhere, whether it be in your deck, same with Droplets, or your opponent's deck. This card is basically always live because those cards, along with you run trade-in, along with it's a light target and it's a level 8. So it plays too good of a role in this deck to not run. I was running 2 in my previous list just because it's an extender too. But since we have this new card, I don't really need the second copy. And this is it, guys. Drum roll. This is literally the new Spice card that I thought of, and when I saw this card in people's box openings. This card is freaking nuts. And that card is Astral Karibo. This card is freaking cracked. If you guys do not know what this card is, let me read it to you. It said it's a level one Light Fiend. You can reveal one number XYZ monster from your extra deck. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, this card's level becomes the revealed monster's rank. Also, while this card's face up in the monster zone, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except XYZ monsters. You can only use this effect of Astral Karibo once per turn. A number XYZ monster that was summoned using this card as material gains this effect. Cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. You reveal number 90 and some other cards that we're running in the extra deck. We'll get to the more sauce when we get there. You reveal number 90. Special summon this card. This card becomes a level 8. Granted, you are locked into number XZ monsters until he gets overlaid, but then you're freed up. The card's restriction does not hurt at all. Definitely considering 99% of the time you're going to go into number 90 anyways. Definitely turn 1. Turn 1, you're definitely going to go into number 90. So, that's just, and if you're not, then you're just playing the deck wrong. But no, this card is freaking nuts, and we'll get to more sauce when we get to the extra deck. Moving on to the spells, we have 3 Sanctuary. I don't know why it sucks that this card's so expensive now, but if you are just now trying to play Galaxy S Photon Dragon, you're a little late to the party, my guy. But we got 3. That's it for the power 3-ofs. That's all we got for 3-ofs, really. For the record, if you are new, none of my lists for the most part are actually budget. They're all the competitive as possible, so they're all going to be fairly expensive. If I had a 3rd droplet, I'll be running a 3rd, just saying. We got 2 droplets because it's necessary, this format, to be competitive, sadly. It's better than Dark Ruler, but if you don't have access to this and you can just run Dark Ruler, you're just not going to get as many good effects off of it as you would this card. 2 trade-in. You don't really need 2. You don't really need 3. 2 is the perfect number. Then on to the power 1-ofs. We got 1 Rhoda because it's an additional copy of any single warrior in your deck. 1 Trance. 1 0, and the one that's going to piss a lot of y'all off, but I promise you it does not come up more than once, is Expedition. Trust me, guys, I get it. I know. Before you go to the comment section, before you go to the dislike button, listen. This card is very good, but it's so freaking situational, it's ridiculous. You have to control a level 5 or higher to activate this. And yes, I understand Soldier is the main way to go. If you break and you draw this in Soldier, you can use Special Soldier and then use this to make at least an infinity. I get that. I really do. I understand. I've been playing this deck for 3 years now, 2.5, 3 years now. I understand every single situation that might come up. But at the end of the day, I brick on this card more than I plus with this card. Ever since I dropped this to 1, I seen it when I needed it or I searched it when I needed it. And ever since then, it's just worked wonders for me. Definitely considering we have all these other consistency cards out now that help us facilitate more. Because for an example, if you have Soldier on field and you activate this, in order to get to a level 8, a rank 8 play, you gotta put an additional body on board, which you're playing harder into Nib, you're playing harder into hand traps, and you're playing harder into everything. That just breaks your board and says no. As of where if you run other extenders, like we do with Astral Karibo and stuff like that, you can get to your rank 8s faster than you can with this card. Because you have to find a way to get an additional body on board with this plus Soldier. And it's just not logical in any sorts, and it's forcing your deck to try to do extra work that it doesn't need to do. This deck wants to make rank 4s. This deck wants to make rank 8s. And you want to try to minimize, want to maximize on the consistency levels of doing so in the least amount of summons as possible. So that's my idea on Expedition, and I'm sticking to it, and I'm sorry if you're offended by it. I know a lot of people that play this deck for a while, they don't like really trying new things, because I understand. If it's not broke, don't fix it. I got it. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do to increase the deck ceiling, and that is increasing the deck ceiling, even though it is an extender card. I get it. I know. I promise. And then the last 3 cards in the main deck is 3 Imperm, because it's not once per turn, and it's a floodgate negator. So, clean 40. Moving on to the extra deck where it gets really fun and juicy. We got 2 Soul Flare. You don't need 3. You use the Cleric to shuffle the other one back before you need another one. So you basically have infinite numbers of Soul Flares. The 1 Bushinki Alshima, because this card is cracked. This card's nuts. This card gets you out of very sticky situations. And then we got our 2 number 90s. Number 38, fun fact, this is a number card, so you can make this with Astral Karibo. That's why this card stayed in the extra deck. Number 90 is a number XZ. Number 38 is a number XZ. And then for the old reliable Cyber Dragon Infinity, Cyber Dragon Nova, because it still comes in clutch when you need it. And then we have My Baby. I love Full Armor. It's my favorite one in the extra deck. Just love the artwork. And Cypher Blade. Number 62. Because you can make this off Astral Karibo, and when you make this off Astral Karibo, even if you don't have OTK, it can't be destroyed by battle, and it can't be destroyed by card effects because it was made with Astral Karibo. Fun fact. So you have a giant beat stick that can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. Yeah. Nutty. Astral Karibo does what Photon Blast does for us, but faster. Granted, Blast is still, to a degree, kind of better because it makes it to where they can't be targeted. But if you make Blast with something that you've made Astral with, that means it can't be targeted, can't be destroyed by battle, or destroyed by card effects. So, yeah, it gets nutty. Then we got the Blast. Then we got the Zeus, because Zeus is free because it's a light and it's an XZ and an XZ-based deck. And now, let me clear up some space because I want to slap these next 2 guys down. The last 2 cards in the extra deck, because it's free and it's fun to use, and I'll explain why I picked them over a couple of other cards that you normally see in my extra deck. The last 2 cards in the extra deck is Utopia package. We are running the Utopia double package. Why is Utopia double not in the main? I mean, double or nothing in the main, because we side deck it. After game 1, we always keep it in the side just for an additional OTK purposes, because they are number monsters, because Astral can easily make this card, and it's a light monster, so you can easily get into it. This deck craps out rank 4s, craps out rank 8s. So after running Astral Karibo, you're almost silly not to run this. Now, what these were prior to this is, this was Cypher Dragon and Cypher EX. The reason why I cut that package was, 1, I wanted to give my Astral Karibo more targets. On top of that, this format that we're currently in, there is so many cards that cannot be targeted. So your Cypher is basically a dead card, so you can't really make anything. And if you were going to take something and overlay EX over top of whatever you stole, you're basically going to win that game anyways, and you could just win a different route. You could have went this route and tacked into their monster for a crap ton of damage, and or you could have made easily made one of your rank 8s. What else is really nice about this too, if for some freaking crazy reason you didn't OTK and with this card plus number 62, yeah, because it gets huge. These get humongous between this and number 62. But if for some reason you didn't OTK, This card remains a humongous beat stick that still can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects if you made it with Astral Kuriboh. On top of that, this is a light monster that is huge, that if you also have Blast on the field, Blast will protect this card as well, because it's a light monster and it's above 2,000. Even when it's buffed up huge, Blast will protect it. So there's a lot of situations where this card is protected, and this card just works beautifully in this deck, definitely with the addition of Astral Kuriboh. But that is it for the extra deck as well. 40 card main deck, 40 card extra deck. I mean 40 card extra deck, 15 card extra deck, sorry. But no, I've been wanting to get this list out to you guys for a while now. Ever since I saw the pre-release of whatever of Brothers Legends, and I read that Astral Kuriboh card, I was like, okay, that is Galaxy Eye support up and down. Yes, I know it's just basically for its own archetype, but we can use it so well. I mean, I know regular Utopias can use it well too, but I don't know. I wanted to be the first one to show you guys, and before anybody else. I love bringing you guys the best content possible, as best I can give. And I 100% believe that almost every list I come out with Galaxy Eyes is actually better than the last. And myself personally, I don't know how it's possible, because like every time I make a list, I think it's the best list ever. It's just my passion with the deck, and I love sharing my passion with you guys, whether it be in this deck or another deck. But again, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and give the deck a try. The deck is very underrated. Sadly, the only thing it really loses to is Bird Up and Droll and Lockbird. But if you don't have to really deal with those, then you should have a lot of fun with this deck. Every single card I put in this, every single ratio in here, I think, in my personal opinion, is perfect, definitely for this format. But I hope you all enjoyed it. Again, please hit that like button. I really love seeing your all's positive feedback. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And join the Discord if you want to become closer to the DD fam. PayPal if you feel like donating and supporting the channel even more is in the description below as well. Hope you all have a wonderful day, night, morning, evening, whenever you're watching this video. Hope you all are staying safe out there in the age of COVID. And y'all have a good one. Drip out. Peace. Good dueling, my guys.